If you've ever opened your pantry, spotted a bag of flour and thought, "Can I just use this instead of pancake mix?" You're not alone. At first glance, they seem almost identical. Both are powders, both are used for baking, and both are made from grains. But when you actually try to make pancakes with just flour, things don't quite turn out the same. The pancakes end up flat, chewy, and definitely missing that light, fluffy texture we expect from the box mix. So what's really inside pancake mix that makes it so different from plain flour? Why can one make pancakes instantly, while the other needs a little more effort and chemistry to get things right? Today, let's break down what sets them apart and find out which one might actually be better for you, depending on how you like to cook. Right here, on History of Simple Things. Flour is one of humanity's oldest ingredients. It's simply grain, most often wheat, that's been ground into a fine powder. That's it. No extras, no flavorings, no shortcuts. The type of flour you buy determines what it's best for. All-purpose flour is the most common one, and it sits right in the middle. It's good for bread, cakes, cookies, and pancakes. It contains a balance of protein and starch that gives baked goods structure without making them too dense. But flour on its own is neutral. It doesn't rise, it doesn't sweeten, it doesn't flavor anything. It's more like a blank canvas waiting for the rest of the painting to happen. When you make pancakes from just flour, you're missing some critical supporting ingredients. Something to make it rise, like baking powder, something to give flavor, like sugar and salt, and something to hold it all together, like eggs or milk. Without these, flour can't really perform on its own. It's an essential ingredient, but not a complete recipe. That's where pancake mix comes in. It's like the pre-painted canvas that just needs a few final touches. Pancake mix starts with flour as its base, but it doesn't stop there. Inside a typical box of pancake mix, you'll find a combination of flour, baking powder, or another leavening agent, sugar, salt, and sometimes powdered milk, or shortening. Essentially, it's a ready-to-go blend that includes all the dry ingredients you'd normally add when making pancakes from scratch. The mix is designed to take the guesswork out of measuring and mixing. You just add water or milk, stir, and cook. The real magic ingredient here is the leavening agent, usually baking powder. This is what makes your pancakes rise and become fluffy. When it reacts with liquid and heat, it releases carbon dioxide bubbles that puff up the batter. The sugar adds sweetness and helps with browning, while the salt balances the flavor. Some brands even add powdered buttermilk for that classic tangy pancake taste. So, pancake mix isn't just flour. It's flour plus chemistry, pre-measured for consistency and convenience. The main difference between using pancake mix and flour boils down to convenience versus control. Pancake mix is for those mornings when you just want pancakes, fast. You don't want to think about ratios or whether you have baking powder in the cupboard. You want to pour, mix, and cook. It's quick, it's predictable, and it usually turns out fine every single time. But flour gives you something else, creative control. When you start with flour, you can adjust the recipe however you like. Want them fluffier? Add a little more baking powder. Want them healthier? Swap in whole wheat flour or oats. Want them rich and creamy? Mix in some melted butter or yogurt. With flour, you can make pancakes that are exactly the way you like them, not just the way the box dictates. So in a way, pancake mix is for convenience, but flour is for customization. If you've ever done a side-by-side comparison, pancakes made from scratch and pancakes made from a mix don't taste exactly the same. Pancake mix tend to have a uniform, slightly spongy texture. They're often sweeter and a bit lighter, because the formula is designed to be fail-proof for mass appeal. Homemade pancakes, on the other hand, can vary depending on how you mix your ingredients. You can make them fluffier, denser, crispier at the edges, or softer inside. Flour-based pancakes also tend to have a fresher, richer flavor because you're using real ingredients like eggs, butter, and milk instead of their powdered substitutes. Pancake mix is convenient, yes, but because it often contains preservatives to extend shelf life, it can have a more processed taste. So if you're after that homemade comfort and aroma that fills the kitchen, starting with flour wins in the flavor department. So here's the big question. Can you use flour instead of pancake mix, or vice versa? Technically, yes, but with a few adjustments. If you only have flour, you can make your own pancake mix by adding baking powder, sugar, and salt. The basic ratio is about 1 cup of flour to 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and a pinch of salt. Then, add milk, eggs, and butter to turn it into batter. If you're going the other way, using pancake mix in place of flour, you'll need to reduce or skip the leavening and sugar in the rest of your recipe because pancake mix already has those. It can work in muffins, waffles, or even as a breading for fried foods, but the texture and flavor might be slightly sweeter and lighter than what you'd get using plain flour. At the end of the day, the difference between flour and pancake mix isn't just about ingredients, it's about philosophy. Flour represents the starting point, the freedom to build something from the ground up. Pancake mix represents simplicity and convenience, a shortcut to a guaranteed result. Neither one is better than the other. They just serve different needs. If you love experimenting in the kitchen, stick with flour and make your own mix. But if you want a quick breakfast before rushing out the door, pancake mix is your best friend. Either way, both lead to one of life's simplest pleasures, a warm, fluffy pancake on your plate. And really, no matter how you make it, that first bite always tastes like comfort. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.